Hey there, this video is about what I think are the 5 best lightweight knife options to carry with you at any time. I'm just going to go through the ones that I've chosen out of my collection, and really I can't think of any that I've sort of moved on that I would include anyway. So these are sort of 5 that I think cover all sorts of different purposes, and let's get into them. So we'll start off with the Benchmade 940. Now this may be one of the heavier knives on this table here, and it's only a 3-ounce knife, so it's about 76 grams or something. None of the knives on this table are under 80 grams. It's the companies have really learnt to do a lot with materials these days. So this is aluminium handles, and it's got a 3.5-inch blade, and this getting towards being a thicker blade, and you really get some sort of proper utility out of this nice little tanto tip that you can rest your thumb on. It's got a nice sort of flat portion there to cut your cardboard with, and it's got a little bit of belly if you want to do something a bit finer, some little rocking cuts, things like that. But this is a really slim, light, excellent everyday carry knife. S30V steel. It's probably one of the better steels on the table. Yeah, probably actually mid-range really. Yeah, it's just something that you'd probably, again, you can carry like most of these and not even notice they're there. Moving on to the Manix 2. The Manix 2 is actually a pretty big knife in terms of its width and in terms of its capabilities. However, they've managed to keep the weight down really, really low once again with some FRN scalings, unlined, so just the FRN strength, which definitely seems to be enough. They've reinforced the bolt action lock, which is the type of lock it is, a bit like an Axis lock, very similar actually. You pull both of them back, and both moves a pin, a little ball out of the hole notch on the blade of the tang. The tang of the blade. And yeah, it's reinforced with a bit of steel there, which is a bit more of a new addition. This is just a super hard using sort of working knife that really weighs next to nothing. It takes up a bit more space in your pocket sideways. However, again, it's under 80 grams. It's really, really efficient in terms of its actual footprint on your pants. If you could carry 3 of these knives, and you'd be about in the same ballpark as a heavy tactical folder from like Medford or someone like that. It's you get a lot of work done with such a light little blade like the Manix 2. So it's a really good one as well. The Delica 4 needs pretty much no introduction. 2.4 ounces, about 70 grams. Not a great deal going on in terms of weight here either. It's FRN. It does have liners, so it's not super lightweight. It could actually be a bit lighter weight, but again, does lots of good with this blade. It's got a really thin VG10 edge. Whole blade's VG10 actually, and it's just carries really well. Getting a bit slimmer than the Manix. Still got that Spyderco fatness to it, but again, under 3 ounces. Definitely one of my favourites. Now we're going to move into 2 that I think are exceptional for what they are, in terms of being ultra light and just ultra usable as well. So the Cold Steel, this is a 3-ounce knife that has a 4-inch blade. This is the Broken Skull. It has a really strong lockback mechanism. It's got G10 handles which are unlined. G10 is a plenty strong handle material unless you're really planning on abusing your knife, and it actually feels comparable to the Delica. I know you could, by hand, you can probably not notice a matter of tens of grams, as well as unless you've got really fine-tuned motor skills, but it really does feel about as good as the Delica. And also it's really low profile. It's a really thin knife in all different ways. So it's thin that way, it's thin this way. This little clip hump is probably the widest part of the knife, and again, that much blade for that little weight. Excellent choice if you're after something really lightweight. And finally, the Mar Eagle. This knife weighs 36 grams. Sorry, it's the Falcon, not the Eagle. Weighs 36 grams. It's a little AUS 8 blade. It's 3 inches long. It's perfectly capable for doing things that you need a longer blade for. It's not stopping at 2 inches like the Ospreys or the really small little Mar knives, or the Cold Steel Tough Lights and all that sort of thing. It's got unlined micarta handles, and that's how they do it. And it's got a pretty thin lockback assembly and a very thin blade. This is probably the most light use knife out of all of these, and it does have some little issues which I'll talk about in my full review, which is coming on Monday. But really, this is 1.2 ounces. It's so light. As in, this is a really light knife. You can almost get 3 of these to the weight of this knife. And then, for example, you could carry 9 of these or you could carry a Leatherman Wave. You could carry 11 of these, or you could carry a Leatherman Surge. It's very, very light indeed, so a great little knife too. So overall, if you're looking for the scoop on lightweight knives, those are, in my opinion, a great series of knives that will cover pretty much anything from really, cutting carpet, doing, woodworking, so, just doing nice little around the house food prep, all in the space of under 80-ish grams, under 3.1 or 2 ounces. Thanks for watching, dudes. I'll see you in the next video.